So generally when I travel overseas, I would take my tablet here, my charging bank right here, my cell phone, and my MacBook Air, that's right here. And I would use a travel adapter like this one. This is a Ugreen 100-watt travel adapter, and this would be my go-to for traveling. But I encountered some problem one time I traveled, and it's because of this plug right here. I could not use it in some parts of Asia or in some part of Europe. So I had to find an alternative where I had to buy an adapter for each of those countries that I went to. So I found a better solution, and that is this guy right here. This is the Minix travel adapter, and it allows me to use this one adapter in multiple countries across the world, including North America, the EU, Australia, Europe. So in this video, I'm going to take a look at this Minix travel adapter. So let's get into it. So this is a Minix travel adapter, and it has multiple sockets on this side, plugs on this side, and then the USB-C and USB-A plugs on this side. So it has 3 USB-C, 1 USB-A, and they're labeled C1, 2, 3, and A1. And right here you have a LED, that's a very tiny LED that tells you when it's powered on. On the back here, you have the sockets for different plugs for the US standard, the EU standard, the Australian standard, and the European standard. And you know, some of these plugs work in different countries across the world, so it's not just those 4. So on this side, you have the sliders for the different type of plugs. So on this side, this is where the plugs come in to go into different sockets across the world. So you have socket here, and I'm going to get into this shortly. So right here you have a spare fuse and the actual fuse for the travel adapter. So I'm going to show you the spare fuse and the fuse right here. So for the spare fuse, all you have to do is do something like this. This is from a Ugreen nut. So I just put in this little hole right here, twist, and here it goes. This comes out, and the spare fuse is right here. That's the spare fuse right there. And then right beside it right here, you have the actual fuse. So you just put something under it, tilt it up, and then you can pull out the fuse. So this fuse is the one that is active right now. So just take it out, slide it back in, press, and it's in. And this spare one, and these are 10 amp fuses. So you slide it in, put your cover back on, twist it back in. So this travel adapter actually supports up to 2500 watts, a maximum of 10 amps being drawn from it. So it is more than enough for my MacBook and all the devices I use for it. So on this side now, you can see the sliders, and when I slide this one out, I have a US plug. And if I twist it, I have an Australian plug. And you just twist it back, slide it back in. And then when you slide this out, you get the UK plug right there. So you can plug it in the UK sockets. And then this one, you slide this out. This is for the EU. So you can get EU, plug into EU sockets. And this supports up to 250 volts. So you can plug into the US sockets, the EU sockets, the UK sockets, Australian sockets. So if you're in Thailand or other parts of the world that use these plugs, you can plug them into the sockets in those countries. If you were, say, in the US and you're using a US plug, or you were in the EU and you're using an EU plug, you can take your UK plug and just plug it in. And there, you can plug it right here. It's the same thing here. If you had this EU plug, and you slide it in there, and it works. This is the Australian plug. You just take it and you plug it into here, and it also works. And if you were, say, a US person like me, and you had a plug for US, you just take it again, turn it like this, slide it in, it plugs in. One thing I'll tell you though is this is not a voltage converter. It is just an adapter. So make sure that the appliance you have supports the voltage you're trying to plug in. Meaning that if you have a US plug like this one and the charger like this, make sure to check like on this. And the input on this is 100, 240 volts. So it can be plugged into here while you're in the UK. And it's the same thing with this travel adapter. You can look at the label right here and it will tell you if it can go up to 240 volts. So for the USB ports here, if you're plugged into C1 and C2, if you're just using one of these ports, you get up to 140 watts on each of these ports. If you're using C1 and C2, C1 will give you a maximum of 100 watt, C2 will give you 35 watts. If you plugged into C1 and C3, you get 100 watts here, 18 watts here. So if you're plugged in C1, C2, and C3, C1 is going to be 65 watts, C2 will be 35 watts, C3 will be 18 watts. And if you're plugged into all four at the same time, you're going to get 65 watts, 35 watts, and I think about 12 and a half on each of these ports. So it's still good enough to charge all your devices, because I'll plug my MacBook or my Basis charger here, maybe my Samsung sometimes here. Generally, I don't have all of them plugged in at the same time, so it's more than enough for me. Let's get on to the performance of this while it's plugged in. So I'm going to use this right here to demonstrate it. I'm in the US, so I'm going to have to use a US plug. This is a US plug. So I just slide the slider here, US plug comes out, I plug it in, and when you plug it in, you get this LED, this blue LED to tell you that it's powered on. So let me grab my USB cables now. I'm going to start with my Basis power bank. So let me plug it in. So this will charge at a maximum of 65 watts. The most I've ever gotten out of it is about 62 watts. So it has a display on it to show you how much it's charging. So let me plug it in into C1. So right now C1 is a maximum of 100 watts. So it will tell you what it's using. So it's in. And then this is going to go up to tell you how much charge it's using. So it's at 61 watts right now, 39%. So we can use this to watch the other device and see if the wattage on this will go down. Second, for me to charge while this is plugged in, I'm going to use my MacBook, which is right here. I'm not going to bring it on the desk. I'm just going to have it right here. So I plug this in and into my MacBook. You hear the MacBook start charging. So right now, this is still at 61 watts. It's now at 40% already, and it's fast charging. Next, I'm going to plug in my Galaxy phone into C3, maximum 18 watts right now. So it's going to fast charge. And here it says fast charging. And with all of this plugged in, it's fast charging. And if you had a fourth device, say another phone, then you could plug it in using this USB-C to USB-A cable that I have. I'm going to plug in another Samsung phone, and there it's plugged in. There you have it, 4 devices plugged in, and they're all charging. This is up to 41%, and my Samsung phone that's 78% and climbing. And if I had, say, another laptop or any other device, I could now use this plug right here, this US plug, and plug it right here. And that device could be charging at the same time using the same plug right here. One thing to note, if say I never had the Basis here, if I were to plug the Samsung phone into C1, I'll get to that super fast charging 2.0. So right now it's just fast charging right here. It's at 79%. But if I were to switch this cable with the Basis, I'll get supercharged 2.0 on this now. So this is about 45 watts charging, over 40 watts charging. There's no super fast charge 2.0. So that's it in a nutshell. This is the Minix 140 watt. Part number is TP140. I'll leave links in the description below. For this and all the devices I have here, I may make a small commission from any links you click on and make a purchase at no additional cost to you. So if you find this video useful, please consider liking the video, subscribing to my channel, and even sharing it with someone that you feel would find this video useful. Thank you for watching.